You guys remember that time that I made a video responding to this TERF here about how non-binary isn't misogynistic or whatever, and she deleted her channel or like privated her channel for a while because she got like so upset about it? Well, she has returned. She's unprivated her videos. The heat must have gotten off of her a bit. But guess what? Here on the Xander Hall YouTube channel, we crush TERFs into the fucking dirt. That's what we do here. We don't let him come back after we give him a beating, alright? And now she has returned. She thinks that she can get through this and continue with her terrible YouTube politics without getting pushed back on. But guess what? Just like in Zombieland, when you kill a zombie, you gotta hit it twice. You gotta double tap. We gotta double tap Sarah Lisa, this TERF here. So she made a video called J.K. Rowling Stays Winning and Other Thoughts. I wouldn't describe what J.K. Rowling is doing right now as winning. I mean, the three head actors from her most popular franchise have spoken out against her and her TERF rhetoric. She's being lambasted by basically the entire internet. She's had a mental breakdown and had to ditch Twitter, wrote a terrible op-ed that has been lampooned by, like, the media. She's not winning, my dude. She is not winning. Just like you weren't winning when you deleted your channel after I made a video on you. But regardless, it's time to bully some TERFs. So we're watching this at 2x speed because she talks pretty slowly. This is a 31-minute video, and I want to try to finish it, or at least watch most of it before we finish up here. And we only got 30 minutes before Vosh starts his stream, so Lego!
Hey everyone, since last time I posted, which was a video about J.K. Rowling, she herself actually posted, she published an essay on her feelings and defense of...
Guys, I know the video is very quiet. I can't do anything about that, alright? I can do nothing. I can do nothing to make the video a lot louder, okay? Literally not a thing I can do. I'm sorry.
Her stance on gender identity, and I just thought it was amazing. My sister and I read it out loud, and
oh god,
it was phenomenal. It was so enjoyable to read from J.K. Rowling herself, her defense of her, stance and standing her ground, and it was just amazing. It was great. I feel so sorry for the trauma that she lives with based on her past abuse, and I related so much to her saying that, and I just...
Literally, J.K. Rowling... I can't make it louder, chat. Shut up. Okay. Literally, J.K. Rowling tried to weaponize her past abuse against trans people in that essay. She claimed that, I understand why so many women feel uncomfortable with trans activists pushing this agenda because I was once abused by a man, and so, like, oh my, I can't even. Wait, make your voice quieter so we can hear. Chat. Okay, alright, I'm turning myself down. Here's what we're doing. See, I'm turning myself down so that you guys can turn your videos up and on your end and hear her, hopefully, okay? So, alright.
It's just awesome for her to truly stand up for women like that. I think that's amazing. And,
I'm sorry. Actually, no. We're the white women who would call black women animals and dehumanize them back when desegregation was happening and they were allowing black women into white women's bathrooms, like the white women that were complaining about that and saying they don't feel safe and that black women are animals. Were they standing up for women? Is that what they were doing, against like the evil other, like the black women? Was that what they were doing? I'm just curious. Like, I really am. Like, or would you say they were standing up for women? Because this is exactly what J.K. Rowling is doing here, except it's trans women. Just turn everything up. I'm banning anybody who asks me to make it louder. There's literally no technological way I can do that. This is the loudness of the video. There's nothing I can do. Literally nothing. Actually, no, there is something I can do. Hold on. I have an idea. I have a volume booster app on my thing. Does this work on your end?
the fact that she named Magdalene Burns and
Ha! Oh, no. It's working, right? I can't go full screen with it, but it worked, right? It actually does? Nice. Hey, chat. Ear rape? Wait, now it's ear rape? Okay. Alright, I'm turning myself down slightly. Jesus Christ, I hate you guys. Alright. Hey, chat. Magdalene Burns. Hold on. Can't type. Doesn't matter. We gotta do it every time, alright? Another one bites the dust. Another one down, and another one down, and another one bites the dust. Every time. Magdalene Burns was like a subhuman piece of shit. Magdalene Burns was a JQer, I believe. There's a lot of evidence to support the idea that she was a JQer. She suggested that the trans epidemic was being perpetuated by the global elite, like Soros, funding them. Then on top of that, she's also just outwardly called Blair White he, him, like just calling Blair White a man. There was actually an interaction that happened between her and Ariel Scarcella back in 2017, in which, I know, right? Like, how does Blair White come out of this situation looking like a victim? That's how you know you're dealing with, like, mega TERF, right? Calling Blair White a man and misgendering Blair White and then defending it, saying Blair White is a man, he will never be a woman. Like, shit like that. Like, holy fuck. Like, I hate Blair White, don't get me wrong. But, like, Magdalene Burns was subhuman scum. And the brain tumors that killed her in Minecraft were a blessing. If God exists, that was, or karma exists, that was her punishment for the hateful rhetoric that she spread in Minecraft. I would never celebrate the death of another person on my platform. That would be a terrible thing to do. All right, let's continue.
Disclosed that she and Magdalene were able to talk before Magdalene passed. It was just so pleasant to hear. I'm so happy about that. I'm sure that to know that such a strong and powerful and intelligent woman like J.K. Rowling was going to receive the torch in a way was just a confirmation.
Oh my god, TERFs are so pathetic, dude. Oh my god. They're so cringy. Magdalene Burns passed the torch on to J.K. Rowling. I mean, okay. Alright, well hey, listen, J.K. Rowling's next. Those brain tumors are coming. In Minecraft.
And validation and a thank you that Magdalene must have felt, and I'm just so glad for that. So yeah, I'm ecstatic that she posted something about it and stood her ground and explained herself and said nothing but facts. And
okay, one, she didn't stand her ground at all. She left Twitter, she had a mental breakdown, a temper tantrum, and then made her shitty little essay and put it up, and it got lampooned by the entire media, and everyone's making fun of her and shitting on her, okay? Even the actors that, which she was pretty close to prior to this happening, that played the main characters and the one thing she's known for, outside of her being a stupid TERF on the internet. Two, literally everything she said in there was factually inaccurate. Anything that she cited, she didn't cite a single scientific study or article. She was actively arguing against the consensus of the entire scientific community. Sociologically speaking, medically speaking, biologically speaking, all of that. Literally, no facts were in that thing. It was literally just feelings and her having a temper tantrum for getting called out for being transphobic. How's she gonna fill up 30 minutes with this? I don't know, but we'll see how far we get before she just stops saying things and is just talking, you know?
I really, really admire her for that. I'm so proud of her. I can't imagine the mental strain it has on her. She mentioned in this essay that she took a break from Twitter since her statement about Maya Forstater, and that she only really got on the internet again to respond to kids' drawings of her book, which I actually mentioned in my other video, to say, oh wow, yeah, she's a real villain, And I also found it so interesting that she was looking into the gender identity issue at all because she was writing a novel about it. Not about it, but about, I believe...
Oh, guys. The novel that she was writing had the main villain was... hold on. Can we bring it... So, Robert Galbraith is her pen name that she was writing that novel in. Named after a guy who was a pioneer in gay conversion therapy is what she named her pen name that she wrote that this new novel series out after. The main character of said novel series is a trans woman who doesn't pass at all or whatever. That's how she's described as not passing, as having stubble and blah blah blah, all of the TERF stereotypes about a trans woman. And then on top of that, the main character of J.K. Rowling's new story threatens to call the police on the villain, saying, you're gonna have a real good time in a men's prison with how feminine you are or whatever, not having gotten any surgeries yet or anything. Actively, the main character is actively transphobic. This is the novel that J.K. Rowling is writing, that she's referencing here. Just thought I'd point that out. Just a little context, Body
dysmorphia in terms of identifying as an amputee. and that's really interesting. That's like her story of how she kind of came to like radical analysis, I guess, which is just super cool and fascinating. And makes me want to read the book that she read. I mean, that she wrote about.
I'm sure you would love it. I'm sure you would love it. Hold on. Radical analysis, radical feminism is what they like to call themselves. I'm sorry. TERFs are not feminists. TERFs will never be feminists. If your feminism is exclusionary of trans women and tries to label trans men as women, you're not a feminist. You're not a feminist. You're a reactionary. You're appropriating feminist rhetoric to hide your bigotry. You're a bigoted piece of shit. You're no different than every right-wing conservative that thinks women should be barefoot in the kitchen making pies. Although, ironically, most of you TERF types are actually conservatives that do believe that's where women belong. You just use this feminist rhetoric to mask your bigotry. You're not a feminist. You're far from a radical feminist. A radical feminist would want to abolish gender so that everybody has their own unique identity that would be respected by everybody based on how they personally feel, regardless of society's overall binary outlook at gender. That's how. If you were a radical feminist, that would be your opinion. You are not a feminist, and you are certainly not a radical one.
Female detective that she was mentioning, and I learned that she publishes other mystery novels under the name Robert, which again is just like,
yeah, Robert Galbraith, a name that she got from a pioneer in gay conversion therapy. Can we look that up actually? This is where she got her name from. Robert Galbraith Heath. An American psychiatrist, he followed the theory of biological psychiatry and organic defects were the sole source of mental illness, and that consequently mental problems were treatable by physical means. He published 425 papers in 3 books. One of the first papers is dated 1946. Heath was experimenting in the 1950s on inducing paroxysms through brain stimulation, so like shock therapy. During the course of experiments in deep brain stimulation, Heath experimented with gay conversion therapy and claimed to have successfully converted a homosexual patient, labeled in his paper as patient B19. The patient had been arrested for marijuana possession, was implanted with electrodes into the septal region, associated with feelings of pleasure, and many other parts of his brain. The septal electrode would then be stimulated while he was shown heterosexual pornographic material. The patient was later encouraged to have intercourse with a prostitute recruited for the study. As a result, Heath claimed that the patient was successfully converted to heterosexuality. This research would be deemed unethical today for a variety of reasons. The patient was recruited for the study while under legal duress, and further implications for the patient's well-being, including indications that electrode stimulation was addictive and not considered. Yeah. So basically, this guy was a prisoner. He was arrested, given to this fucking like mad scientist, and then electrocuted and experimented on unethically to try to make him straight. And this is the person that J.K. Rowling has based her pen name on. Okay.
I again don't understand how people don't seem to see that that J.K. Rowling clearly has put in so much work to be heard and visible and respected and have as much of the same career opportunities that a man could have, and the courage, honestly, to know what would happen to her reputation by standing up for women and doing it anyway is just fantastic.
Why are TERFs such cowards? Yo, chat, I'm genuinely curious. Why are TERFs such like Weasley little cowards? Why do they always say standing up to women, standing up for radical feminism instead of saying trans women aren't women, going after trans people? Why don't they just be honest about it? I mean, they hate trans people. They're pretty open about it. Why don't they just be honest? Like, why can't they just say what they believe? Why do they have to be such cowards? It's like when Nazis say shit like, "Oh no, I'm not racist. I think all people of all races just need to have their own place in the world. I think black people should have Africa, and it should just be black people. And then here in the West, it should all be white people, and that's where white people can be. We don't hate them or anything. We just want to have our own. We just think we all need to have our own places, right? It's the same shit." Because I don't want to get yelled at because it hurts their feelings. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm still yelling at her right now. It's gonna hurt her feelings. I imagine she's gonna find out I'm covering this video. She's gonna start crying. She's gonna fucking take her channel down again, as she should, because we fucking stomp TERFs into the fucking dust here. And that's what she's gonna do. And she's probably gonna live a fucking miserable life because TERFs, as you know what? Since Vosh is going live now, and I gotta wrap things up, we basically heard the overall argument that this lady has. Let's actually, let's give you guys a little bit of brain bleach really fast. Who here likes Red Dead Redemption 2 and likes Arthur Morgan from said series? Because if so, here is Arthur Morgan's voice actor destroying transphobia and TERFs with facts and logic. This should be a bit of a brain cleanser here.
Hey there, cowpokes. Arthur Morgan here.
Whoa, goddamn. Oh, wow. A lot of things to take care of there. First, change it to normal speed. Second, shut off my volume booster. Whew. Okay, here it is.
Hey there, cowpokes. Arthur Morgan here. Be beautiful to each other. Keep loving Red Dead. Keep loving everyone. And don't forget, TERFs ain't got no friends. Trans people are people. Be beautiful to each other. You'll be all right.
Based Arthur Morgan. Fucking based. You love to see it. It's true, TERFs have no friends, and that's why they're so miserable. I've never met, like, a TERF that doesn't look like they're on the edge of, like, wanting to kill themselves. Like, seriously. I mean, maybe it's because she was, like, she had cancer or whatever, but, I mean, just with the example of Magdalene Burns, right? Like, every time I watched one of this lady's videos, back when she was alive, like, holy shit. This is the look of somebody who is just, like, miserable. Just absolutely falling apart on the inside. TERFs just aren't happy. And the fact that TERFs aren't happy makes me happy. Brain tumors say trans rights. Okay, everybody. It was a good meme.